Hey, hi everybody. Oh, we can't hear Linda yet, so I don't know what's going on here. Just at the last second, she went dead on us here, and just before we started, and she hasn't quite figured it out yet. And plus, too, I'm seeing some comments that apparently people could hear us before we went live. That's shouldn't be possible. So, but anyway, um, so we got a good show today, and but we wanted to start it with remembrance of 9/11 20 years ago and the people that lost loved ones. And Linda, she's involved in that part too. So we're gonna yeah, we still can't hear you, Linda, but so we're just gonna do like a quick moment of silence here for I don't know 30 seconds, right? Is that what we said? So, oh, you're muted now, Linda, and I didn't mute you. Oh no, I don't have audio. If you can hear me, Linda, unplug that headset and use your microphone and out of your laptop there. So anyway, so let's do a moment of silence, and we'll be right back with you. All right. So that was a bad day.
Yes.
There, you're back. Yeah. So could be a wire in your headset too. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So we got a good show today, and well, let's just get going with it. What do you think? We got a heck of a topic to talk about, don't we?
We do.
And we want to welcome everybody that's in the Great Pyrenees Advice and Support Rebooted group.
Yes.
Shout out to all of you.
Welcome.
And Roman's here. Make no mistake. You got your questions. Let's get them in. Okay. We have a giveaway drawing at the end of the show. So if you, and you can start it now. If you type in hashtag GPRM, that will get you entered in the giveaway drawing. So get your entries in. Hashtag GPRM to this week. We're giving away a martingale collar. All right. If you ever had a peer hit the brakes and put it in reverse, you'll really appreciate these collars. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, now don't forget, you can't train your dog with a collar or these are just to keep your dog with you. All right. So, well, without further ado, let's get going with our star of the day. I'm going to play her little video. This is a toe tapper, so get ready. And there's Miss Toe Tapper right there. Look at her now. There we are. There's. Oh, look, there, we got us a white one too. Wow. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay.
Welcome to the show. Wowzer. That is one big dog you have there. She's beautiful.
Yes, she is.
She's absolutely gorgeous. How old is she now?
She'll be 8 months this month.
Wowzer. You know, she came with the coffee litter. All right. It was I forget all the names, Linda. You have to help me with that one.
Oh, Java, espresso, mocha.
Mocha.
You name it. Any coffee drink we
Yeah.
added.
And for some reason, she's still in rescue,
She is.
and we want to know why.
Yes,
So-
we do.
So tell us why. Put it in the comments if you can figure out why, what we're doing wrong.
Mhm.
And it's not Lindsay's fault. Trust me, she wants to foster more. Okay.
She's a beautiful dog. She's
she is.
well-rounded. She's sweet. She's gentle. She's beautiful.
Yeah. And until we went live, you could see her face.
She's busy.
She's busy.
Hmm
But so Mocha, she's an Anatolian Shepherd, obviously. And in rescue, probably something else. We never know. But look at her. Look how gorgeous this girl is.
Yes.
How much does she weigh at 8 months old?
She just hit 70 pounds a couple weeks ago.
Okay. All right. So, well, you're not looking for a Pyrenees or an Anatolian or a Maremma or an Akbash without looking for a big dog. So this is no surprise to anybody. So GPRescue.com, and we want to. She is. She's a very beautiful girl. Okay. And by the way, Linda Joe, we wouldn't have it any other way. Okay. So, Mocha is that. How does she do with other dogs and cats and kids? Well, obviously, kids okay because you're not much bigger than it. Well, it looks like she might be okay with cats.
Yeah, she seems to be okay with cats.
Oh boy!
She's been with them all.
Don't even have to. She answered the question for us. How do you not apply for Mocha? Okay, so
Mocha does need fencing, and she does need another dog in the household that will match her
okay.
energy level. I don't want to see Mocha go out to be an only dog. She would do better with another dog in the home.
Definitely.
And and you can read all about her at gprescue.com, current adoptable. And let's get her moving along. She's ready for a forever home.
She is. She's waited long enough.
Yeah, she has, and she's pretty active. I take it, right, Lindsay?
Yeah, definitely. She has that burst of energy like any Pyrenees, but she is also pretty lazy too, like the Pyrenees.
So she does zoomings.
Yes.
She does zooming.
She definitely, after getting after the pool, she loves getting in the little kiddie pool, and then she does zoomies afterwards.
Okay, so kiddie pool required.
It should be, yes.
All right, gprescue.com. Do you? How does she meet new people? She's a little shy at first, isn't she?
Yeah, she's pretty shy. We're working on all the socialization for her.
Okay.
She's not aggressive. She doesn't show any signs of growling, anything mean. She's just a little more shy. She's reserved.
Okay. Cat's not shy though.
No.
gprescue.com. If it's happening, that's where it's happening right there.
Mm-hmm.
And while you're out there, since she's still in rescue, we could use some food and stuff for her because
Always.
the rescue supplies the food and preventatives, and you provide the home if you decide to foster. So, all right, wow, there. Anything you'd like to add, Lindsay?
No.
Okay. I was afraid I was going to have to cut you off and shut you up a little bit here. I thought you were going to ramble on and on here. All right, gprescue.com. What state are you in? Where is she?
We're in Illinois.
Oh, it's in Illinois. Okay, so she's kind of centralized a little bit. So if you're in states to the east, you might be able to get her. If you're states to the west, south, and if you're in Illinois, you might be able to go meet her. So there you have it. All right. Thanks a lot, Lindsay. I appreciate you putting up with us. She's a good girl, isn't she?
She's so good.
Yeah, that's awesome. She better be because she's big. Hey, I just have a question. Is she by any chance crate trained?
Crate train? Yeah, she loves the crate.
There you have it. So if you got another dog and you get nervous, you just tell her to kennel up. or your
Yeah,
other one.
That's definitely her safe place.
So she likes a safe place to retreat to. I like that. Good. All right, Lindsay, I'm going to take you down. We have a
Thanks, Lindsay.
heck of a talking
Thank
point
you.
today, and Mocha. But remember what happened last time? If I see her doing something, oh hey, don't you have two other fosters of ours?
Yes, I do. I have Millie and Maggie.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Where are they? How come they're not here? I got a question.
They're tearing up the other room. No, I'm teasing.
Hey, I do have a question, Lindsay. What was going on there?
Mm.
So her favorite thing to do is give the other dogs kisses. So she'll run up to them and then roll on her back and then just lick their face. And so that's what she was doing.
That should be a grand prize winner of Tongue Out Tuesday right there, or whatever day it is.
She's such a great dog.
She is, and she just look at that. I mean, come on now. And she likes her furniture too. So
She loves those chairs.
yeah. And then the one I made that you guys saw in the thumbnail. Yeah. Let's get her out. Let's get her moved along into her forever home. Okay.
Yes, please.
And GPRSU.com. That's where we go. Okay, Lindsay. Thanks.
Thanks,
for coming.
Lindsay. Thank you.
You know the drill. Thanks. Wowzer. So now we have Roman down here too, and we got a heck of a talking point today. Tonight.
We always do. Yes.
Hi, Roman.
Hi there.
Roman.
How you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Doing well.
We're trying something new here.
Yeah.
We're trying a new time zone
Mm-hmm.
or new time slot.
Well,
And,
the more convenient for people, the better for everyone, right?
Yeah, I agree. And Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time, people are out and about doing things. They're off work. And
Taking the dogs for a walk.
taking the dogs for a walk. Yeah. And so we're trying some stuff. This is a test. So we'll do this for a couple of weeks.
Yes. See how it goes.
And feel free to let us know what you think. Put it in the comments what your
Absolutely.
best time would be. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also put into the comments if you want us to have some talking points for you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think you read what our talking point is tonight. One of the most popular topics in rescue, kind of. What's the, we get, wait a minute, why can't this dog go to a farm as a Great Pyrenees?
Mm-hmm.
What difference does that make? Why can't he go to my farm? Well, he was on a farm and he ate the goats, so rescue got him, and that's a problem. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, and the question that always comes up is, what's the difference? And then we have people that say the Great Pyrenees has no business in a house. Okay.
Yes.
Well, while we're talking about this, I'm going to upload a couple pictures and then we can answer it. But so, would you like to start that one off, Linda?
As far as the difference, I mean,
Mhm.
so we always talk about this. I mean, we get a lot of people wanting to adopt our dogs as livestock guardian dogs. And I think the biggest misconception is that people think because they are a working breed that they're going to be able to take these dogs, put them on the farm, and they're going to do their job, and that's that. Wrong. Doesn't work that way. So, I think it's, we were talking about this earlier, Steve. I think there's not enough information out there. I had spoken to a man and his wife for almost 2 hours last week. And he said to me, I learned more about this breed from you in 2 hours than I've done from hours and hours and hours research on the internet. And I think that's the problem. Are they a working breed? Yes, they are absolutely a working breed. Do they all belong on farms? No, they don't. There are many, 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 many Pyrenees that are very happy and content and living their lives inside their homes with their families. So, with that said, our rescue, we are a companion rescue. We adopt out our dogs into homes. But I will say this. If I get an owner surrender and this dog has been a working dog his whole life, 5, 6, 7 years. The farmer has passed away. They've sold their livestock. They lost their farm. Look, I'm not going to take that dog and put him in a home, Steve.
No,
I'm going to find another working farm for this dog.
that's a
Um,
working breed right there.
Yes. Yes, right there. Yes,
I think
absolutely.
she would fall to pieces on a farm.
But I won't adopt her out that way, Steve. I will adopt her into a home. That's what she's used to. It's what she's lived her whole life, and that's where she'll continue to go.
Yes.
Now, I certainly don't have anything against our breed as working dogs and on farms, and they work wonderful and they do great jobs and they're happy. But it's not for all of them. It's just not.
Way back when I read that King Louis, one of the generations of King Louis, had this breed, and they're considered to be one of the oldest guardian breeds. Well, one of the oldest breeds ever. We hear they've traced him back to 1800 BC now. So that's an old dog now.
Yeah.
And they believe that Mocha right there is a descendant of him. Okay. And some others. So now when we bring a companion dog into the home, chances are pretty good the dog, we don't have the backstory. We get a lot of them coming in to rescue that they're found just wandering around. They left the farm. That's the unusual part. Here's the thing: if the flock's there and there's a threat, they're not leaving. They stay with the flock. So that right there is going to tell the farmer something. My dog's gone. Why? You're not paying him enough? There's a lot to that sentence right there. You're not paying him enough. So what do you think, Roman? Are they all destined to be working dogs, or are they all destined to be companion dogs? And can you make a companion a working dog? Well, never mind. That's out of my league. That's not a question for me.
Mine too.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky because I grew up with the original guardian breeds, the Greek Molosser dogs. They were back in around 300 418, where King Molosser basically used his sheepdogs that was what we call farm dogs, but they were just house dogs, right? They were in a closed area with the sheep, with the goats, and the house. The dogs had free access to everywhere. So we have this weird idea that you have a farmhouse, you have a farm, and you have a dog around the farm. No. A guardian breed is a very specific and one of the oldest working breeds we ever have. So the first thing we had two categories of dogs who were guarding and dogs who were hunting, right? And we choose the guardian dogs to keep them close because these dogs are more likely to stay close to the people, and the hunting dogs likely to go after the animals. So we have a clear distinction between dogs who don't need to stay with people and dogs who need to stay with people. Right? And so if a dog grows up around people and he gets comfortable with people, that is the first imprint. Now, at the same time, since those people are also handling animals, in that imprint period, the dog also imprints with the animals. And so the dog sees that as a family. So if we see a guardian breed includes his family and he protects the family. He's not a guardian dog. He's a family-oriented dog who offers his services to protect his family at any cost.
Yes.
While the hunting dogs are hunting the animals at any cost. So we bred them at least for 4.2 million generations to do one particular thing, be with a family that they consider family. So if I consider family all those people who have 2 legs, and I consider animals all those people who have animals who have 4 legs, the dog sees me and those 4 still as family. Now, if I take a dog away from that family where he's a guardian breed, and I'm moving him to another family, then I'm taking away his family. And just because I put him in a new family doesn't mean he sees that as a family. For them, they're still strangers.
Yes.
So we have this complete, illusion that, oh, well, he's a guardian breed, and therefore I just take him to another family. He's going to do their guarding job. What
Right.
is he guarding since he lost his family? He only guards himself. And this
Right.
is where the most people get confused. And then,
Mhm.
even if I take a dog away from his guarding job, like in a farm, and I put him in another farm, those dogs and those animals are not family. They're just strangers. And if those family has chickens, then the dog, since he hasn't been grown up with chickens, he would see that the prey is going to kill those animals that are farm animals, but they're not family, since the dog has no clue that chickens belong to a family.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I take the dog from the farm and put him in a house, will he be a good dog? Well, he wouldn't have a problem if we create that family bond. But he's used to have a bigger, broader job, and now he doesn't have a job. So meaning is he doesn't feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
Unless I give him a counterweight and create those different jobs that he feel fulfilled having a job that is better than his old job, so he can be of service for his family. Now, if I take a dog from a farm and put him in a house, put him in a crate when I leave the house, well, that's going to end up well, because the dog will be desperate because he just lost his family again. His family is leaving and he has no one to protect. So therefore, his job collapses. He has anxiety, and we call it separation anxiety, which is kind of a complex situation.
Yeah.
Now, if I have a big yard and a fence and family and dogs and kids and other cats, and this dog is a bond with his family, will he be a good farm dog? No, he has no clue what job it is being on a farm, because it's not about herding children and guarding them in a house. They are animals that don't do what he wants to do. And since there is no job description, nobody to follow to learn how to do the job, that dog is helpless and frustrated. And he
That's
will
right.
likely go and kill someone because he's not doing what he's supposed to do. Make sense?
Yes.
Is a pet
Thanks,
dog
for-
a farm dog because he fails in the family? No, because he has no clue how to survive out there. Is a pet dog who has been killing other dogs a good dog to take care of coyotes and bears? No. He will recognize them, but he still has not to do what to do with them. So it's not just I take things away and I put them over there. Just because I have a family from police officers doesn't make me a police officer, and I had no clue how to handle situations, even if I have a gun. Make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and they're just out of curiosity. You said when you were growing up, what country did you grow up in, Roman?
Well, I grew up in Greece, and I'm not a farm kid, okay? But I lived next to a goat farm, and they had 4 of those dogs. And I grew up every day going there, living with them, because I had nothing else to do. But I learned very closely how those animals work, and I think this is where I got a dog crush. And I says, I want to know more about those dogs.
Right.
And so these guys are always moving with the family. In the summer, or in the winter, down near the waters, and in the winter, up in the mountains, because they need to be safe, right? In the summer, up in the mountains, and in the winter, down near the coast, so it's not so cold for the animals. But everybody's contained. So they had the hunting dogs with the farm, and they had the guardian breeds with the farm. So all those dogs were cooperating. While the other ones were hunting with the hunter to have meat and food for everyone, the other guys will stay behind taking care of the goats. But the job description was clearly defined. And there's a tricky period between 14 and 16 weeks of age where a dog genetic is being affected and fine-trimmed in the environment that the dog lives in. So the dog may have genetic predisposition to do certain breed traits, but between 12 and 14 weeks, this is being fine-trimmed. All the individual breed trait will come into expression, and they have to be adjusted. So if we miss that window, no matter what the dog is, house dog or guardian breed out in the field, and we're missing that part, then that breed trait will go to the extreme. So if a guard dog in the field or in the job is start chasing the goats and you don't take care of it, you're going to create a hunter and he will fail in the farm. If the dog of that particular age is start chasing the kids in the house and you don't take care of it, then he will hunt anything that is out there to hunt because the environment didn't restrict him. Hey, we don't do that. It's not a good trait. So we need to improve the trait and bring him to the green zone instead of the red zone. Hunting, no. Following, yes. Guarding, yes. But not everyone, just family. The other ones has to stay out. What's family? What's friend? What's strangers?
All right.
And teaching the dog morals and ethics is what basically is the key factor if the dog survives in the house or he survives in the farm. If a dog doesn't have morals and ethics, he will not survive anywhere, either or. A dog with good values and good ethics may survive as a pet dog. They can be also moved to a farm and learn from other dogs to cooperate and correlate with their jobs. So is it possible? Yes. Easy? No.
Cool. There's your behavior standpoint. Now, that was a lot there. So, but no, rescue doesn't typically send one of our companion dogs out to the farm. Okay. That's just like Roman said. It's not easy.
We do always see where the dog is coming from. If the dog fails in the farm because he killed the chicken, is he a bad farm dog? No. He just wasn't trained to accept chicken. But that's not the dog's fault. Right? But is he a good farm dog? Of course he is. Is he easily to be moved to another farm? No. He needs to start creating a bond with the family. He will not be ready in a year, maybe. So you cannot just buy a farm and says, I don't need a fence. I need a Pyrenees dog. Let's buy a Pyrenees dog. Put the Pyrenees dog out there, tie him up, put him on a little bit water, a little bit food. Up he goes, taking care of business. No. It will take about a year or two to get him to that job.
Right.
And people just don't want to wait for it or have no clue about it.
Yeah.
And yes, you can train your dog, sure, but using a shock collar to contain him in your farm and using prong collar to take care of business, and it's not going to work because it's going to turn against you. And that people fail too.
Yeah.
So you have a dog who is volunteering your work. If you don't know how to teach the dog, don't get a dog. Get a security guard.
Agree.
I have to pay for it. So.
There you go. All right. Don't forget the giveaway, GPRM in the comments, but you have to grant permission if you're in the groups, the Great Pyrenees Rescue Missouri or the Great Pyrenees Advice and Support Rebooted. If you're in those groups, there's a link in the description of the show that you click and give permission for your information to leave that private group. Okay. And because if not, it won't accept you in the little tool we have here, the giveaway tool. So it's martingale collar, okay? And we'll do the drawing at the end of the show. Now let's go back to our show here. Now, you're in a situation right now, Linda, that you've got a couple of dogs that you're looking at transferring. Is that right?
Yeah, we were contacted by two different owners that have working dogs. They've been working dogs for many years, and they don't have the proper fencing. So we have a couple working dogs that are roaming the neighborhood and roaming the highway, and not staying with the goats and sheeps like the owners thought they would. So we actually have an adopter that is experienced with training livestock guardian dogs. He has the proper fencing, and he just bought his property, and he has his livestock coming in about 4 weeks. So these dogs will be transported to him.
Now, the dogs don't know each other now. Is that correct?
They do not.
Okay. All right. Because...
and it's a chance we're willing to take. I mean, if we don't take them, I really honestly don't know what's going to happen to them. They're up there in a little bit in age. I'm very concerned for them. So, this family that's taking them is a wonderful family, knows what he's doing. We're comfortable with it is what I'll say. Is it going to work? We sure as heck hope so.
Yeah. If anybody has ever adopted a dog from Great Pyrenees Rescue of Missouri, knows what that means when Linda says she's comfortable. All right. So,
Mhm.
now they were wandering around because of inadequate fencing. Now, the
Yes.
breed, as a general rule, they're boundary dogs.
Mhm.
So, if you don't have a visible boundary, they wander. It's not
Mhm.
that like it's not like they're trying to escape. That's not what they do. Well, unless you're beating on them or something, they're either going to eat you or they're going to escape. But they're just wandering around, and that's what's taking place. You got to have that visible fencing, even farmers.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah, and we know a lot of I mean, we've adopted out livestock guardian dogs that have come in the past, and these farmers have adequate fencing. They
yep,
know that their dog will wander. Um, so it's they have the proper fencing for
that's
sure.
good. That's good.
Hmm.
So um, go
So
ahead.
there's one thing I want to add. If you have a guardian breed and everything is fine, and suddenly your dog is start roaming around and start leaving the property, there one thing that you may consider. there is there's a medical side effect on doing rabies, which is the dog doesn't like to stay. He needs to wander and leave the premises. Okay, so he's not the jerk because he leaves the property. It could be that the dog has already side effects of rabies vaccination. So I recommend to reach out to a homeopath and work with your dog because that can be reversed and adjusted. Now, of course, the guardian breeds, they are triggered genetically by anything that is out of the ordinary. And the dog will stay contained in this area as long as nothing is triggered. But as far he can see and as far he can hear, that would be the territory. Because when do you feel like somebody's invading the house? If you're in a desert and a 50-acre property, and if you see somebody walking to the property, you're going to see that person is invading my house, right? Now, if you live downtown and somebody walks down the walkway, he's not invading your house. Why is that? Because your boundaries are clear. You know where your house ends and you know where the social places are. But for a guardian breed, that doesn't exist until you intensely work on his premises, walking the dog in this particular area that you want the dog to guard. Your dog on the inside, you're on the outside, so you make sure, hey, from here I'm taking care of you and you're taking care of me on that side.
Yeah.
And you can no problem setting up some little flags. Get some flags from a store, gardening store. Set those flags at 6 feet apart from each other, all this territory. Yeah, you may need about a couple of hundreds of those. Place them in around your house, create that visible barrier, and start walking your dog inside that barrier about 5 feet away. And start doing boundary training. You don't need a shock call. You don't need a prong call. You just need to teach your dog what you want him to do. Don't cross that line.
Mhm.
It's
You're
simple.
you're
You just
you
have
got
to
way
work
out of sync
not-
on your voicing.
Sorry, what?
You got out of sync. I need you to do me a favor. Leave and then come back. Let's get you synced back up. All right. All right. I hope it was just Roman.
Yeah.
All right. So, and that's how you fix that. Anytime you guys are doing something like that online, chatting online, and your voice doesn't match, just log out.
Yeah,
log
he
back
was
in.
lagged. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so you're not, am I to you?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You're
So,
fine.
because he did something with his headset earlier, and that probably started it going. But anyway, he does make a
Steve,
lot of sense.
he does. I mean, absolutely. I did want to say something though, Steve. Next week, for the show next week, I'll just give a little heads up. We're gonna talk about. We get a lot of questions of why we ask for certain requirements to be met. So we want to address those. Because I know a lot of people get upset when their application is turned down, or they just don't understand the requirement. So, and we always answer them. I mean, we always explain why. Is it always understood and appreciated? Not always. But we feel that we should answer some of those questions for people
Yeah.
that ask.
And maybe we can have an application up there and we walk and we run
Absolutely. We can run through that and we can explain.
Yeah.
Like one of the questions is, why do the children have to be 12 and older? Well, it's not that I worry about our dogs being reactive but when you have a 2-year-old child and you have a 130-pound dog and they're running around in the backyard, And the next thing you know, you see your 2-year-old child 20 feet up in the air because the Pyrenees knocked them up. Then you have a hurt child and a really, really upset parent.
That's right.
So this is why we really wish they to be a little older.
Yeah.
Not to mention 2-year-olds can be a little, grabby and,
And not to mention, you're
And I'm
probably
a
gonna
mother,
have,
by the way.
and you're probably going to have your hands full of a 2-year-old anyway.
Yeah, that's what I always say. I mean, I'm a mother of 5, and I can't even imagine having to take care of a dog when my kids were that little because they were enough for me.
So yeah, a 2-year-old's they're a handful. We know that.
But on the other hand, you want your kids to grow up with a dog.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And these giant breeds aren't for everybody.
They are not. And I tell people that too. I'm like, look, it might not be the breed for you. They are not for everyone.
Yeah. And
They're very specific.
And then another common statement from folks on the application. I've had dogs all my life, never had a fence.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
We do get that a lot.
But did you have a Pyrenees?
Yeah, right, and that is true that they've had. Absolutely, and I've heard of people having Pyrenees without fences.
I have too.
And
there's an exception to every rule, Steve.
Absolutely, there is, and
Yes.
that is awesome. They can do that.
Yes.
But I also know that I know about one of those people that didn't have a fence that lost their dog because about 5 years into it, the dog decided to go get run over.
Yes. Okay. And why do you think the shelters are so full? Rescues are so full? Because your dog that you thought would stay without a fence is now wandering and considered a stray.
It's rare for one to stay around off leash, off fence. The old saying, you know what you call a peer off leash, gone or disappeared. Okay,
disappear.
You thought I was going to say. So, wowzer. So and I agree because that's a long application you have too.
Yeah, we add to it too. Occasionally we might add another question in there. So I just, I do put it out there that we do background checks. I do those. I'm very transparent about that. I'm not looking at anything that's not public information that anyone couldn't see anyway. I do vet checks. I do home checks, and I do extensive interviews with my adopters. I won't allow them to go into a home where I don't feel that they're safe or they're going to be loved and all their needs met. And we're doing pretty good, Steve. We've only had, in 2.5 years, we've had, I think, 2 dogs returned.
2 dogs come back.
2 dogs come back.
And out of how many dogs? Just a rough guess.
Over 200.
Over 200.
The national average is about 10% returns, which you guys have a promille actually almost.
And you're under the national average. By the way, your sync's back up again. Seem to be.
So somebody posted about the electrical fences. No.
Oh, you mean?
I said no.
Here's why. Read the ingredients, right? In dog food, read the instructions when you buy these things. So people think invisible fences are working. They don't. Here's why. Do they work? Of course they work, As long as they have electricity, they work. As long as the battery is working. But it comes with a cost. And I'm the first one back then. I didn't know because in Europe we don't have electrical fences. So a guy, when I bought the house back then in 2007, told me this house comes with an electrical fence. Oh, no
great!
To train your dog. I was like, okay, great job. I need to work for that. So he came over and he just explained to me, and I was like, okay. So what happens if my dog decides that it's more important for him to leave the fence than getting hurt? He doesn't care about getting hurt because right now that job is more important. And he says, well, that will not work because if a dog ignores the pain, then the fence doesn't work. And I said, oh, so there is pain involved. And he's like, well, yeah, how do you think the dog would stay in the fence? Right. So every time a dog gets clear of the fence, he gets hurt. He says, no, the dog gets a warning and then he gets hurt with electrical shock. And he says, how does he know that he gets shocked? Well, we have to shock him first. oh, so first he has to get shocked, then he has to get in pain, and then he has to remember that every time he comes close to the fence, he feels like he's in pain every time he hears the beep. And he's like,
Did you have to pay extra for that fence, Roman?
Of course, I had to pay for it. It depends whether it's free. And so I said, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to test it with you, okay? I'm going to put you the collar on, and I drive away with your car. And he's like, that's unfair. I thought so. So I set the electrical fence back again, and here's my explanation. I know many people says, well, I live in a community, I cannot build up a fence. I agree. Why does your dog have to pay for it? You want your dog to be free? Well, let him go. Oh, you want him to be contained? Then teach him containment. If a dog chooses to pass that fence and he gets shocked leaving that fence, he will remember that he will get shocked again through the fence, so he will not be able to come back in the house. Yep. Right? And every time he attempts to return, and every fence he passes on his way, he gets shocked and shocked and shocked and shocked on his way back home. Right? Now, I'm not getting in a rant. Okay. Now, the next thing is going to happen is the dog will not trust your property anymore.
Right.
Right? And then, who put the collar on again? He doesn't remember that part either, we think, right? Of course he remembers. Now, dogs are smart. He knows exactly that if he runs fast enough through the fence, he will not get shocked because that fence has a couple of milliseconds because he's react. So if he speeds up fast enough, he can run through the fence, the only one beep and no reaction yet. And voila, the dog left your property. And if you read the instructions, it says, electrical fences are not safe containment device, always dogs being under supervision. Well, if that's the case, then I'll be just out there taking care of my dog. I don't need the fence to pay like thousands of dollars for it, right? Plus, what happens if I have a ground fault? What happens if the landscapers cut the wire? What happens if the battery discharged? What happens if the collar gets a shortcut? And here's my experience. I had a person calling me at night at 12 o'clock at night telling me, my dog is yelping, my dog is screaming, I don't know what to do, I can't get close to my dog, help me. I says, okay, what's going on? We're down the staircase and the dog is trapped in the corner of the door and he doesn't move. He just screams and yells and we cannot go close because he's going to bite us. And so trying to figure out what happened, we talked different things. And I said, do you guys have an electrical fence? He says, yes, we have one. Okay, good. Okay, now go down there and shut off the main electrical power. He says, why would I do that? I said, because your dog is trapped with electrical fence. Likely, you have an old house. He says, yeah, how do I know? Well, here's the thing. Your electrical houses, the wiring, the ground is attached to the pipes. Mm-hmm. Now, here's what happened. The piping was an extension of the electrical fence, and something went wrong on that device, and the ground went into the pipes, which triggered the electrical collar of the dog being in the house.
Wow.
The dog was next to the radiator, trapped in the corner of the door.
Wow.
Okay?
I never
that
thought
dog
about
was
that.
yelping and screaming for about an hour.
Oh my
Now,
God.
tell me about trauma. So you tell me, like, it's never happened to me, never happened to you, no worries.
Wow.
You know what? I'm playing Russian roulette, never happened to me until it happens. Are you playing that game with your dog? No. And how many devices are basically activated by random cars and remote controls because you choose to go a cheap way and you don't know if there's other interference? How many garage door has activated those collars? There's no approval of those collars. Everybody can sell you whatever he wants. And who's going to buy expensive one? Usually you go cheap.
Yep.
Now, no matter
And
what,
I used those in the past with one of my dogs.
and I know these new collars
Many
are
years
coming
ago.
with
Mhm.
GPS. These are even the worst case scenario because your dog will be shocked coming back home because he has a special route to return.
Right.
Like, I cannot even Google my house. I'm not always consistent on which turn I have to go because my GPS is always a little bit off. Now, having an attachment to a GPS that is connected to the Department of Defense with accuracy of 15 feet, really, your fence will be attached to that program with that accuracy? No. It's going by Google Maps, plus minus, that kind of accuracy. So how many times did the Google Maps turn you around the wrong direction, right? And so you think your fence is being correctly referring to those GPS coordinates. No. So
Yeah,
your
that's
dog
that new one you're talking about.
and no matter what they tell you to do, just make common sense. Ask a pilot who flies with GPS how accurate his GPS is, where he has like 300 people behind his back. And he will tell you, don't rely on the GPS. Not for your fence.
But anyway,
Mhm.
so anyway, that's next week. Yeah, don't spoil the show, Roman, for next week. And don't forget to hashtag GPRM when
Yes.
you're when a martingale collar. Okay. So now back to the difference between our talking point. Remember that? Remember we had a talking point? Well, I can't get that short circuit out of my head. That was
That's
amazing.
awful.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's
Roman's
terrible.
right. Because when you have a short, it's the grounding is designed for that because electricity takes the shortest path. All right. Well, and what's a common ground? Water pipes, because they're buried, they're underground. And
Yeah, I know. We talked about those, and I told you that I used one for my lab many years ago. And you asked me this question, Steve, would if you knew then what you know now, would you use one? No. Because I'm more educated now.
Yep.
I know more.
it also doesn't keep the wildlife out either. All right.
No.
And everybody says, well, I have a Pyrenees. He can take care of any wildlife. No, he can't. He's one dog. What happens if you have pet coyotes? All right. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's next week. Or wait a minute, no, that's this week. Hell, I get confused. Now, the back to the fencing, secure fencing again is they're boundary dogs, and if you don't have a boundary for them to be a boundary within a visible boundary, they're going to wander away. And this is what happens now, and that's been years. That's been
Now let's remember too, there are leash walked only dogs.
yes,
because
absolutely.
We have some dogs that will just scale a 6-foot fence, or just you can't keep them contained in a fence at all. So they have to go into homes where they're leash walked only.
That is uncommon, but it is.
It is. It is. I think it's happened to us once.
Yeah. And
But
I know of one other, two others actually, in 30 years. Okay. So, but that doesn't mean they're not out there. That's just
they're out there.
That's just the ones I know of. And once again, can we fix that? Well, I don't know. They're dogs, but we sure can't not try, because there's a need that's not being met here. And the dog's meeting his own need, possibly. So, but that's a whole nother show. I'm going to write that down as another talking point. Meeting the dog's needs.
Yeah, and we'll take talking points. I mean, nothing's off the table with me. If you know me from Rebooted, or if you know me from my rescue, I'm controversial. I open up cans of worms that no one else wants to. I'll discuss anything. So, and we're very transparent. We'll just be honest with you. So if you want to ask something or you want to know something, just ask. We'll discuss it.
And we've covered in the past, we've covered bloats. We've covered, quite
reactive dogs. Why we take reactive dogs.
We were going to do, our timing really kind of was off on this one. We were going to cover the heat exhaustion and heat stroking dogs, but we should probably do that just before summer. Right? And, although we can do it twice. We can give a refresher just before summer. But the thing of it is that awareness. You got to be aware of this stuff, and this is why we have talking points. And you never know. Sometimes you say, "Wow, I didn't know that." Just like Roman with that short circuit, I never thought about that.
Roman, I just want to ask you for the people in the Rebooted page. As a moderator on that page, we get a lot of questions about that we get a lot of people that have behavioral issues with their dogs constantly. So is there anything out there for anyone that is low income and can't afford a high, amount?
Yes. I have a puppy class that I'm preparing right now. I have done puppy classes, but I'm starting a new puppy class. So if you're interested in the puppy class, which is dedicated to guardian and large breeds, okay, in general. Because some people have guardian breeds, some people have large breeds. So I consider guardian breeds are usually large breeds, so I put everything in there. And then I have a holistic parenting class that's upcoming. And the goal from that is to help you understand the dog's point of view, morals and ethics, how to create a job description, how to build the secure attachment relationship so the dogs bond with the family, understand what you want them to do, understanding how your parenting skills affect your dog, understanding how you put together a good training program for your dog. And believe me, it's not about obedience. Okay, obedience is a little small factor about how to care for a dog. Understanding the basic needs of a dog, emotional, spiritual, and physical.
Right. But the money is what she's talking about.
Yeah, it's the money. I mean, we have a lot of people in their young families that,
Yeah.
they don't make a lot, so they can't afford, so then they get frustrated and then they get upset and then they're wanting to surrender their animal because they just don't know where to go. They don't know how to fix the problem.
She
Well,
got one last night.
the puppy is really low cost. I have it on $37. I haven't posted it yet, but I will put it together. And then I have individual classes, and then I have a sliding scale, and then I have emergencies. I have many clients who, got done earlier with a program, and they have 1 or 2 sessions left, and I have many of those who donate their sessions to other people, like pay it forward. I have that kind of project.
Okay.
So
and how about a YouTube channel? Do you have a YouTube channel that people can go and watch videos?
I have a YouTube channel, but of course, I don't have the budget to have these super fancy YouTube channels and explanations and all this stuff, because I feel every dog is individual. And I think if you just watch a slide, sleep, or a short video, it doesn't tell you what exactly your dog is doing. So I would highly recommend to do an assessment. It's totally worth whatever money you have to invest into that. My general budget, it's cost per hour. However, I understand people struggling with things, and I'm always happy to do some adjustments on that. But you know what? Knowledge comes with a cost. Experience comes with a cost. I'm not a guy who's just finished school and outright trying my luck. I mean, just the cost of education, just the cost of vet bills, and just the cost of the years of doing training. All this is an experience. Of course, you can hire a plumber for $15. That's what you get. If you hire a plumber for $150, you get your job done without paying 3 or 4 times the amount after fixing the mess he created. So I had a conversation yesterday. How much does it cost a behaviorist? I said it's priceless. As simple as that. Even if it seems a lot, it's worth the money. Considering that putting a dog down, about $250.
I hear what you're saying, Roman, but I mean, I have to say that, you talk about plumbing, you get what you pay for, but, if somebody doesn't have the money to fix their toilet, they throw the toilet away and just get a new one, so, and that's what they're doing with these dogs. I'm just going to throw the dog away and get another one.
No,
it's just the way they're doing it.
$37, and I suggest don't wait until you have a problem.
Yes, I agree with that.
It's cheaper. Right?
Yes.
It's totally cheaper because the amount you learn in those classes will save you a vet visit. It would save you eventually a groomer. It would save you eventually to hire a professional coming to your house, telling you exactly what you already know, and you're wasting your money there, right? So the class
if I had $1 for every time I heard somebody say they're at their wit's end, I could afford to pay for 30 people to go talk to you. Okay.
Right. No, it's affordable. So if you guys want to reach out, you're welcome to do that. If I have a class big enough, 10 people, I can start the class. I work with several rescue, and we have a specific training program for that. So people who are groups, like a shelter group or a rescue group, who wants to say, hey, we have 4 adopters, we want to put them in a class. We put the class together exactly for those people, ready to adopt and be safe about that. And yeah.
But there was a specific one last night that she just couldn't afford you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing my best to help her. I'm not a behaviorist, Roman, but I couldn't. She was so frustrated and so upset, and
well, you didn't reach out to me. I mean, you guys know.
She said she reached out to you and she couldn't afford you. That's why I brought it up.
I understand, but you know what? If I have a financial problem, I tell the person, hey, I cannot afford you. And I says, okay, let's work something out. It's possible.
And I've heard him do that a lot.
Mhm.
I mean, I give a lot of freebies out there. I remember last year did some accounts about $15,000 on freebies.
Mhm. I
But
know.
you also don't want to advertise that too much.
No,
No,
no.
right.
I mean, it's what you do. I mean, we understand that. You know, I always want to be able to direct them somewhere. When someone has a problem and they're frustrated and they're, you know, they're ready to give up. Look, as a rescue, look, I don't want your dog. Okay,
The lady was
I
desperate.
have enough of them. You know, I don't want yours, but I want to help you. And I mean myself. I mean, I spend countless hours just, you know, walking people through things and explaining things and, you know, keeping them hanging on, you know. So that's what I mean, as a rescue, it's what we want. You know, we want someone to be able to reach out and help these people because we don't want their dog, you know, we really don't. We want to keep them in their homes
Right.
and get the people through this.
Yes.
It is sometimes difficult for me to make the judgment who really cannot and who doesn't want to.
I
If
understand
I
that.
see people saying, I've spent thousands of dollars on a dog trainer who ruined my dog and now I want you to do it for free, I don't see that working. Like, get your money
Right.
back. If I
Right.
don't do my work well, I find a way to help this person anyway. Either give the money back or, you know, we find another solution. I add sessions to the program. I'm not a psychic. I cannot predict things.
Sure.
But you know what? If you don't get what you want, then, you know, or if you
Well,
don't
if he
get
doesn't know, he's not gonna know. So
Yeah.
and I
No,
understand
there's
that.
no way of knowing,
Yeah.
you know. So
So anyway, all right, we got 3 minutes left, and we got to do a drawing. Now we've only got one entrant here, okay? And I don't know if the tool will work on one entrant, so nobody
So
needs.
here's
a
what I
market tail
suggest,
collar?
since we have a little bit of a time. I would suggest I'll leave it up to you. I'm going to give you a budget of a couple of sessions,
mhm.
and you can give them whoever you feel, because you have already conversation, you know the background of the story. Some people don't want to share it with somebody they don't know.
These are
And-
strangers to me, Roman. These
Right.
are people that just reach out.
Right.
You know, and I can't. It's just not who I am to turn away and say, "I'm sorry, I can't help you." I have to help them somehow.
And that's
I
what he's
have-
saying. He's going to give you a budget.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, how about that?
Yeah, that's fantastic, Roman. I
Live.
appreciate that.
Roman, in that way, it's managed.
Mhm.
This says,
Mhm.
wow, that's pretty awesome.
I can find a solution in 20 minutes.
Right.
Can I fix the problem in 20 minutes? No.
No.
But at least you know where you're at. And sometimes going into this process of, I don't know what's going with my dog, I need to put him down because somebody told me, well, we're going to clear that out for sure. I know many people who actually accuse the wrong dog of being aggressive. Like,
And
don't-
that's
don't
honestly what worries me. It worries me that this dog's going to wind up in a shelter, or they're going to take it down and euthanize it. I mean, literally, I can't sleep at night thinking about that. So that's why I never turn them away. I always try to give them some hope, encouragement, whatever I can do to keep the dog where he is.
And that's part of what rescue's about, is giving hope.
Yeah.
See, we're not here just to take your dog.
We're
No.
we're not blaming anyone of failing the dog, because
No.
if you didn't know, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah. So, wow, that was amazing, Roman. That was an aha moment.
Yes.
Wow.
Mhm.
I mean, in my Facebook group, there's so much information for free. I have trainers following my group, and obviously that works, right?
Yeah,
But-
you do some live feeds in that group also.
Yeah, I have a lot of live feeds in there. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm posting there since 2015. I don't know how many thousands posts are in there, but you just Google what you're asking for, and you're gonna find a couple of answers. Okay? Fit to your purpose? I don't know. You know?
Right.
I don't know. And many people don't understand the assessment. They don't know how to do the assessment of the dog. They think dog growling is gonna kill your child.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I know.
and they're posting out of a group right there. And they didn't give permission for the Facebook to send their message out by clicking the link in the description. I think next time I'm going to put the link in the comments, except for one little problem.
No, some
That
groups
doesn't
have
go to the
restrictions.
groups.
So if you don't add something to the sharing, it will be automatically rejected. So write a couple of words in the share before you share it, and then share it in other groups so it will be posted.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, and Melissa says a great team, and it takes a village, and
And Melissa and Ray are part of that village.
yes, they are. Yeah, and we're proud to have a part of that village.
Yes, we are.
So,
Well, we can do more Q&As in the group, like
Yeah.
once a week, maybe a Q&A, maybe on Tuesday or something, or Wednesdays. I don't know
Yeah.
which day is great. So people can come in and says, hey, I have a problem. I have a problem. I have a problem.
You talking about on the rebooted page?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Gary would be okay with that. I know he would.
Yeah.
see, what we're doing here is just like what Roman says. Our show is new, okay,
Hmm.
and we're doing things where we can get. We're not doing this to grandstand. We're doing this for awareness and information and get our dogs out there. We are grandstanding our dogs, okay? But we also, out here for you guys too, because that's what we do. And,
We're a village. We want
we're
to.
a
We want
village.
to. We want to help each other. And then I always say rescues should help other rescues.
Mhm.
Respect other rescues.
Yep.
We have to all come together for our beautiful breed.
Yeah,
Whether it be behavioral training, rescue, transport, doesn't matter. We're all here for that one purpose.
that's right. And this
So-
rescue here, Great Pyrenees Rescue, Missouri, is not a large rescue. Okay?
Mm-mm.
But we're also not limited to Missouri either. Everybody
Mm-mm.
thinks, wow, you guys, I don't live in Missouri. No, we're based in Missouri, not
Mhm.
limited to Missouri.
That's right.
Okay. You sent dogs to Maryland and Michigan and
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Yeah.
New Jersey. Yeah.
But a lot of you don't know that, which is why we're here.
Mhm.
That's one of the
Mhm.
reasons we're here. And Roman's on here because, well, there's a lot of people that have questions about their dog because, wow, I didn't know this dog was going to do this. Oh.
He's here for all the same reasons we're here, is because he
That's right.
cares.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he answers questions that you put up there that I can't answer. All right, don't get me wrong, I do this too, but in order to answer your question, I got to ask about 10 more just to answer that first one. Where Roman has the gift of generalizing, but yet focusing. All right,
That's
And
a gift,
I
Roman.
don't do that.
Mhm.
So, but yeah. So, well, that's right back to you, Melissa. Thank goodness for you too. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna last chance hashtag GPRM martingale collar. Okay, and we got a couple different sizes and a couple different colors. So yeah, you don't want to put a pink collar on your male dog, right? Well, you might. You never know. But
I don't think mine would care.
mine didn't either. Okay. But I put pink on my females and black on my males. But they didn't care. They could care less. Okay. So we have a giveaway because we're here. That's because that's what rescue does. All right. We can't give everything away, but we just want to just help out in any way we can.
Mhm.
So, boy, I tell you what, this little small rescue has got some major up and coming.
Mhm.
Okay, you just hold that thought.
Just wait and see.
It'll come in the coming weeks. You'll know what I'm talking about, and I'll tell you what, it's not little. Okay, it's not going to make the rescue nationwide or anything. Well, it's not going to make the rescue humongous, but it's a major thing that's happening here. So stay tuned. Tell your friends and share the show. Now in the
Please
groups you
do.
can't. Yeah, in the groups you can't share the show, but you can. We are streaming to peerrescue.org, Great Pyrenees Rescue of Missouri. It's all about the dogs. Okay.
Mhm.
And our own YouTube channel. Okay. Great Pyrenees Rescue of Missouri YouTube.
Yes.
And that's actually kind of a cool channel. Whoever did that, they did a nice banner up there, I think. So, and look at that. There it is right there in the comments. Cool. All right.
Who won?
Huh?
Who won?
We didn't even do it yet.
I'm bringing it up right now. I had to get more than one entry, okay, Roman? So,
Okay, let's have the prize a little
Who
bit.
won?
Let's have 2 winners. Somebody who is super lucky today get another session.
Somebody gets a session for winning.
Yep.
tonight?
2 winners. One who gets the color and one who gets the session.
Oh, okay. So you want to do 2 drawings? We can do that. Wow, that'd be pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I would be all into that one. Hashtag GPRM for a free
So-
session with Roman.
I'm going to give everybody 30 more seconds to get hashtag GPRM put in there, because now we're going to have 2 drawings, okay? And if you don't put it in there, you're not entered. If you and if we see you as Facebook user, it's not going to let you enter, okay? And yeah, Sharon, yep, that's pretty awesome. But I'm
Sharon's
not
one
sure
of our
which-
fosters, by the way,
Oh well, hi Sharon, nice to meet
and
you.
she's also an adopter.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
And she's also entered in the drawing. I
Yes,
think.
she did.
Yeah. So anyway, let me bring it up. I think 30 seconds is up. There's the tool. Okay. And as you can see, there's only 4 in there. So this is somebody's got a good chance to win. I heard somebody say, "Hey, you guys got to get entered into this drawing." And I heard somebody else say, "Shh, shut up! I want to win."
Well, what's first, the collar or Roman's?
Let's do the caller
session?
first.
All right, let's go.
Okay? And here we go. Hashtag GPRM, and you can still get it in there because we're going to do a second drawing. Here we go. Oh, let me get on this screen. All right, Sharon. Look at that.
Yay!
Yay. Okay. Now, if you send me an email, well, or Linda or something, well, I have a caller, so you should probably send me an email. Give me the neck size of your dog. And you want the raspberry, if you want the black, and your shipping information. Okay, it's steve@gprerescue.com. And we're going to have another drawing here. So now this one is for a session with Roman. Is that correct, Roman?
No, you need to have a dog.
Oh, the dog gets the session, not the human. Okay, I get it. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Can I hashtag GPRM?
The one who wins the session and doesn't need the session is welcome to donate to somebody else.
There
Yes,
you
that
go.
would be
Yeah,
nice
there you go.
too. Yes.
All right, here we go. Wow.
Ah!
Yay!
And
Melissa.
Melissa, get Ruby in that session. Ruby has her own story. Okay. Ruby is a Korean Jindu. And a few years ago, during the Winter Olympics in Seoul, Gus Kenworthy, the downhill skier, exposed a failed meat factory farm.
I remember
dog
that.
Came from there. This dog came from there. Melissa and Ray have that dog. We took her in at another rescue, and they said, "Well, I'd like to foster Ruby." And I said, "All right, Ruby. The Sherman's house sometimes is like Hotel California. You can't check out." All right. We know another person that way too. So they kept Ruby, and she's a Korean Jindu. She's a little. If you look up the definition of little stinker in the dictionary, there just be a picture of Ruby, no other words. All right. She's a little stinker. All right. But that's Melissa and Ray's little stinker. She's a good dog, though. Yay, Ruby Grace would love to meet Roman. Thank you, Roman. And don't forget, if you don't want to use the session, okay, and you can donate it forward or you can use it. We don't hear you, Roman. I don't hear your audio. No. I don't
I
know.
can't hear him.
Yeah. Okay. Good. It's not just me. No, we lost you.
Hmm.
I didn't mute you. No, no. He's got something important to say. Oh well. And I got to finish writing down the names of the winners. Sharon. All right, everybody. We're gonna head out for this week. Now,
Mhm.
next week we're gonna be same time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, Byron, and which is 8 p.m. Central, 7 Mountain, and 6 Pacific time. All right, we're gonna do this at least one more show, right, Linda?
Yes.
And we're gonna see how it works. We're gonna see what the analytics say that you guys want. You're going to be a number after the show. I hate to say it that way, but wow! Congratulations, Melissa. Congratulations, Sharon. Sharon got the caller. Melissa got a session. And you never know. You guys might want to swap off. You know, you guys can trade probably. I don't know. But there we go. So that's it. We did not expect to go into overtime tonight, did we?
That was a good show. Oh, Melissa, there's always a dog and rescue that you can donate to that to, Melissa. That's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't see your comment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's bring it up. Wow, that would be great, Melissa. So I'm sure you and Linda will be in touch. And but Ruby Grace was still. Tell you what, I'll make sure somehow Ruby Grace gets to meet Roman. How's that? All right. How about we do it that way? So, all right, everybody.
All right, everyone.
You guys have a good night, and we will catch you next week at this time again. And then let's talk about how that's working. All right.
All right. See you next week. Bye, everyone.